So DevOps with AWS, just let us understand what exactly we are going to do. So then we will discuss what are the topics we are going to cover in the session. Okay. I hope everybody is able to see my screen and my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes, I can see your screen. I can hear your voice.
Sorry,
I can see your screen and I can hear you.
you can hear you. You
Yeah,
are
we are
able to
able
see
to
the
see
screen.
here voice and video
I
also.
can hear you very well and I can see your screen.
Okay. So okay. So everything is fine. So okay. If anything is comes in between, just ping me over there. I will see. Otherwise, I will go ahead. Okay. Swati, you are unable to hear. I don't know why. Maybe some you are connected from the web. Something is problem from your side only. Please check once. Otherwise, this session will be recorded, so anybody can check in later. Okay. So we are going to cover DevOps with AWS. So as I said to you that I will treat each and everyone. You don't know anything about cloud and DevOps. From that point, I will start. Uh, okay. So let's start. So first of all, we have to understand what is cloud computing. Okay. So, just before we understand what is cloud computing, just understand one thing. Like we are working with from our laptop or desktop, right? So those things are called like compute system. So compute system is those kind of things which is having some of the components such as RAM, CPU, hard disk. So those components as well as the firewall, those should be there enabled in the system. So in whatever system we are logging today, so those system are having these kind of things. Okay. Now let's understand what is cloud computing. So whenever we client means we when we try to understand something or try to search something, suppose in the Facebook we are trying to log into the Facebook. Now how this communication is happening? Suppose I type Facebook login, then what happened, like internally the I will ask to the network, then the network will connect my request to the Facebook database or Facebook server. Okay. Now once the server is our request is reached to the server, then from the server the response will come to the network, and from the network we are able to understand the detail or fetch the details. Okay. So the thing is, suppose sometime so how we can understand, okay, this is my correct credential, and then only it will allow us to log into the Facebook. How it will understand, because in the back end, some servers are created for the Facebook, and the server is like hosted all the application of the Facebook. Maybe it is front end, maybe it is back end, that is not the point. The point is always everything is server based.
Pritam,
So
your
whatever
voice is getting break.
my voice is getting, you are not able
Break.
to hear, my
In
voice is
between
breaking
your voice is not audible. Yeah, it is getting break.
now.
Pritam.
Now it's, is it okay? Now it is okay or not?
Yeah, it is okay. It is good. Yeah.
Okay, so this is the server. So my thing is, as a client, suppose we are the client, we send the request to any application, maybe that is GitHub, Docker Hub, Facebook, Google, Yahoo, whatever the application. We give the request through the network. The request will pass to the backend server of those particular application. Once the request reach to the backend server, then from the server the request reach to the network. From the network we are getting the answer. So this is how the architecture of any cloud computing is happening. Now we as a DevOps engineer are more like focus will be the server part. So this will be our focus. So we will treat our demo like a demo or our application such a way. Suppose we are having some development team. Now development team has developed some feature. Those feature we are going to deploy in the server, and from the server our client will access our application. So through the DevOps tools and technology, we are going to deploy our application on top of our respective server. So that is our intention. Okay. Now you can for an example, you can think of a post mail. So the thing is, whenever we post something, that is like in the like post office, we posted our mail. Now the mail, whatever letter we are posting, that is going to reach to the respective person, right? So we don't bother about how my that request is reaching to the network. We don't bother. The thing we concern about, the respective person has got my letter or not. So this is a real time example. So we, as a client, don't know what is the network, what is the server. We just want to access something and we just get the output. That is the point. Okay. But as a developer, as a DevOps engineer, the things what we need to do is we need to deploy our application on top of our respective server. Okay. Now, so here, what is the component of a server? So as this is my local system where I'm taking the demo today, and you are attending the class from your respective machine. So all the machines can be treated as a server. So a server consists of some of the components such as CPU, RAM, storage, database, and network. These are the main component which belongs to a server. And when we are going to create some virtual server on top of AWS cloud or any other cloud, then these components should be there. So we are going to create some server on cloud, and there we will assign this component to that particular machines. Okay. Now let's understand how the traditional infrastructure was built. Okay. So if you heard about Microsoft, if you heard about Google, if you heard about Apple, so those like billion or trillion dollar like organization started their business from maybe their home or maybe their garage. So what they did that time, they created their server from their local system. Okay. Now once when they treated the physical machine as their local system. Once the business is growing, then maybe they are moving to renting some houses or renting some offices. And after, when the business is growing, maybe they are like purchasing some buildings. So what is the drawback of this kind of architecture? Let's understand that. So we have to pay the rent. We have to pay the rent. If we renting some building, we have to pay for the power, for the cooling, for the maintenance. This payment we have to do. Either we use, either we don't use. That is not the point of discussion. If we want to create our server from a physical machine, we have to pay for these things. The power we need to for the power we need to pay, for the cooling maintenance we have to pay, for the rent we have to pay. If you are buying some hardware, we have to pay for that. Also, suppose some of the component is break. Now my system is okay, but my CPU is not working. Then what I have to do? I have to buy some other CPUs and attach those CPU with my respective server or system. So that is an additional payment we have to do. Now scaling is limited. So what is scaling? Scaling means, suppose today I am the owner of one e-commerce website. Now this is the month of May, and June is coming. So there is no festive season here. Now you naturally understand that as there is no festive season, so the client or number of product I have to sell through the client is very less. Okay. So that means my very less request is coming to my e-commerce website. But when the month will be August or September, so then the festival season is coming. Then too many requests will come to my e-commerce website, either buying some gadget, either buying some say fashion things or some other things. So the product selling will be higher during their festival season. Now my question is that, if suppose I am deploying my server or deploying my application on top of, suppose, 5 servers. As of now, 5 server is sufficient to handle the traffic. Now when the festival season is coming, Then if I am deploying my infrastructure with a physical hardware, then what I have to do? I have to buy another five system maybe to handle the traffic. So that is again I have to pay for that. Again I have to rent for that. So cooling thing, power thing, again additional cost I have to pay. But after the festival season is over, then again the request will be come down naturally. Then at that time, what I can do? I already bought those systems, so I cannot like sell in the same price. So my cost is higher. Either we use, either we don't use. But upfront, we have already invested our money. So that is the challenge of the traditional IT approach. Now, this is the challenge. So let's understand the challenge first. So again, maybe 24 by 7 to monitor. I have to hire some infrastructure team. And suppose some disaster has happened. For real-time example, like 2 3 years back in the Chennai, there was a flood. In that flood, there was many offices which hosted their servers or data centers on the basement of their office. So when the flood came, then all the basement were emerged in the water. So what happened? All the physical system was drowned and the server is not working. Then eventually the application was broke down. So that was the challenge we real time faced during the traditional infrastructure. Now let us understand how we can overcome this kind of challenge or what is the approach for that. Okay, so our point of discussion is, can this kind of problem handled by the cloud? Is it possible? Let's understand that. So, cloud, what kind of feature cloud is providing? Cloud is providing on-demand delivery. Suppose today I am using 5 server, my customer strength is 100. Tomorrow the customer strength increase from 100 to maybe 1000. Then maybe I want to use another 20 servers. No, total 25 server I need. So if I use cloud, then within frac of a second, maybe within some 2 or 3 minutes, I can deploy another 25 machines. So that is possible. So this is a on-demand delivery. Whenever we need, we can use that. Okay, that is one thing. Now pay as you go. That means I do not have to pay upfront. I do not have to pay for the cooling. I do not have to pay for the power supply. But what suppose I am using one system for just 1 hour, then I have to pay just for only 1 hour. I beyond that I do not have to pay. That is the one thing. Second, third thing is you can provision exactly the right types or right size of computer. Suppose today I'm using 8 GB RAM. Now tomorrow some request is coming. I have to upgrade my system. So physically, if I want to buy or upgrade my system, there can be two challenges. First thing is maybe my system is not supported another 8 GB RAM. So it is not supported 16 GB RAM system. That is one challenge. Maybe second challenge is uh, um, so there so if we upgrade it also, then along with that maybe other component also we have to upgrade. So if I upgrade my CPU to maybe 8 GB to 16 GB, then maybe some processor, these things I have to also change. So that is one kind of challenge. Now if I use cloud, then again within track of maybe 1 minute I can change my instance CPU from 8 GB to maybe 384 GB. That is the power of cloud, and that will happen within some millisecond or some microsecond. That will be provisioned to us, and we will get the server. So that is the power of the cloud. Now there is a simple way to store the server, storage, database, and this kind of thing. Everything is very simple to handle if we use the cloud. Okay. Now, these are the companies which are using the cloud. So, Gmail, Dropbox, Netflix, these are the well-known organizations who are using or who are creating their infrastructure on top of the cloud. Okay. Now, what are the three kind of cloud we are having? So, we are having as of now the main three competition of the cloud is Azure, Google Cloud, and AWS. These are the three cloud provider currently in the market. And let's understand how many types of cloud we are having. So we are having private cloud, we are having public cloud, and we are having hybrid cloud. So what is a private cloud? Private cloud means suppose I am part of one organization. My organization deploy their application to their native cloud. So that is called the private cloud. Only they can use the cloud. I cannot use the cloud. So that is called private cloud. For example, IBM is using IBM cloud. So that is called as a private cloud. Now public, so whatever cloud we are using, GCP, Azure, AWS, these three mainly are called the public cloud. That means even I can use the these three cloud, even you can use the these three cloud. So this is why it is called public cloud. And what is hybrid cloud? So hybrid cloud is the combination of on-premises servers along with the cloud infrastructure. So what is on premises? Suppose I have the data center located in my physical machine. So that is the on premises. But my infrastructure is created in the AWS. So that is the cloud, a public cloud. So when I combine these two things, it will known as a hybrid cloud. Okay. So these are the three types of cloud we are having. Okay, now let's understand six advantage of cloud computing. So, like trade capital expense for the operational expense. That means we do not have to pay upfront. Whatever we use, we have to pay for that. Benefit from massive economic scale. That means, like suppose I am using just 10 second for like running one application, then only for the 10 second I have to pay, not even a minute. So that is the economic of scale. So you can understand how much we can save for our client. Now stop guessing capacity. So means suppose today I am using 5 server, tomorrow I may need 100 server. Okay, like 25 times to or 20 times I need to upgrade my server. So I do not have to guess for that. If I want that, I can within a second I can create that. So that is why it is called stop guessing capacity. Increase speed and agility. The communication happening between one component to another component is very faster when we use like cloud architecture. So that is the increased speed and agility. And from the maintenance point of view and the cooling point of view, we do not have to spend some money and go global in a minute. Suppose we deploy our server in India, so anyone can access it from the US also. So that is the power of the cloud. So it can be in global within a second. It can happen. So that is the power of the cloud. Okay. Now why AWS? So whatever activity we are going to do in the training session or the practical session, we are going to see from the AWS perspective, or we are going to implement AWS cloud. Now why we chose AWS over other two cloud provider? So you from this particular graph you can see there are multiple cloud like competition is there, but AWS is the market leader. So as per the data of quarter 4 2021, AWS has provided almost 299 service. When we compare that to the GCP has only 45 service and Azure has only around 100 service. So you can imagine the power of AWS cloud. So all the application AWS is provided like services, and each quarter they are coming up with the new services. So that is the benefit of using the AWS, and that is the power of AWS. So that is why we are going to do whatever activity in the DevOps in the cloud we are going to do on top of AWS cloud. Okay. Now let's understand the journey of AWS. So in 2002, the starting point of the AWS. Then different time zone they have introduced different services. Like 2004 they have introduced SQS. 2006 they have relaunched the SQS, SC and EC2, and at least like NASA, Netflix, Dropbox, along with McDonald, 21st Century Fox, Activation, Netflix. All these big names are using AWS cloud. So you can understand what is the power of AWS cloud. Okay. Now this is AWS cloud. So so that is all about the cloud. So we are going to see all the things from the okay. Mukesh, I don't know you. Sorry for that. Okay. So AWS cloud. Now let's understand like as this is an introduction class, I want to maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but I will start from the scratch. So what are the tools we are going to cover? So first thing first, the Git we will cover. First component we will see for the DevOps, that is AWS cloud. Now second we will move to the Git. So what is Git? Git is a source version control management system. So what is mean by version control? Suppose today I am developing some code in my local machine and I want to share with you guys. How can I do that? That is how we can combine the version control. Okay, so this is the version code. So if I like put my code in the GitHub, then only I can share the link and you can access the codes. So that is the main architecture of Git. There is a local repository, there is a remote repository, there is a concept of pull, push, fetch. Many things are there. So we are going to cover each and everything. So there will be concept of staging area, repository. So everything will be covered in the training. Now coming to the Jenkins. So you can say Jenkins is the heart of DevOps. So heart of DevOps means heart of 1 minute. So heart of DevOps means whatever tools we are going to use, it Jenkins is responsible to integrate those tools with one another. So that is why it is called Jenkins. So if we don't use CI tool or Jenkins, then maybe we cannot combine multiple tools together or integrate multiple tools together. So continuous integration is a concept, and in the concept there are multiple tools, but Jenkins is one of the most popular tool or CI tool currently in the market. So we are going to see the Jenkins. Now in this picture, you can understand that whenever developer develop the code, he or she has to push the code to the remote location or GitHub maybe. So when the push is happened, then automatically Jenkins will understand there is some code changes has happened. So it will trigger its job. Then with the build will happen. Maybe we will use Maven for our build tool. Then the testing will happen. Then the artifact will be generated. Maybe we store the artifact in different kind of artifactory management systems such as JFrog, such as S3 bucket. We will do that. Then once the storing part is done, then we will pull this particular artifact and deploy to the web server. And Tomcat server, we are going to use it. Once we deploy it, our end user can access it, and we are going to monitor this. So this can be done using only one tool, that is called Jenkins. So if we don't have Jenkins, we cannot configure this architecture. So that is why it is called the heart of the DevOps. Now Ansible. Now Ansible, we are going to understand very deep dive, because what I feel. So personally, I do have total 9 years of work experience in the DevOps. So I know why the market is going. So I many days I take also interviews. I have seen many people they don't know what is Ansible, the power of configuration management. So we are going to understand Ansible in a deep all the things of the Ansible we are going to understand, like how to create the master slave architecture, how to deploy, like how to use the ad hoc command, how to use the configuration the files to deploy something, how to move one file from a single location to the multiple location. These things we are going to cover. Now, if someone don't know what is Ansible, so suppose for example, I can tell you, suppose currently I am having, okay, just a minute. I'm opening one page. It will be easy to you to understand if you don't know what is Ansible. So for example, currently I am having, maybe let's consider this. So currently I am having this particular server. So this is the server. Now what I have to do, so here the deployment happened is Java version, JDK version 8 is there. Okay. Now JDK is 8 is there. Now tomorrow JDK has introduced one newer version, that is JDK maybe 11. Now the requirement came like that I have to upgrade JDK 8 from JDK 8 to JDK 11. I have to upgrade. Now if I currently I'm having just one server, then what I can do? I can just simply log into the server and upgrade this component JDK from 8 to 11. That can be possible. I hope that is clear to everybody. So if I am having just one server, then I can upgrade with logging to this particular server. Now, for example, let's understand if I am having 1,000 server. Okay, now if I want to upgrade JDK from 8 to 11, how can I do that? So again, if I go log in each and every server one by one and upgrade the component of JDK from 8 to 11, then it will take around 2 weeks, and it is not like recommended to utilize 2 weeks to upgrade just one single component. One thing. Second thing is, maybe today we are working in an agile manner, so every sprint is going to end after 15 days. So if one sprint is dedicated for upgrading just one component, then you can understand that is very poor architecture. So this kind of situation can be handled via the Ansible. What we can do, we can create one master node. So suppose this will be our master node. So multiple components we will create, such as inventory. We will create some host file is similar to the inventory. The concept is same. Now we will use some modules, we will use some tasks, we will use some YAML files. So these are we are going to use here, and using that I can easily just running just one single command, I can upgrade this component in maybe 1 lakh server. If we are having today, I can upgrade it just running one single command. That is the power of the Ansible. So how to do that, why to do that, and when to do that, this question will be answered in the practical session. I hope that is clear to you. Now that is the Ansible we are going to understand. Now once Ansible is done, then we will move to the Docker. Now what is Docker? Again, if I want to paint something in the paint, so I will treat everybody that you don't know anything about DevOps. So from that point I will start. And to the advanced level, I will move this class. Okay. So suppose currently I am using what operating system? Windows operating system. And some person is maybe using Mac operating system. So for example, currently I am using Windows or Mac operating system. Now, yeah. So before I move ahead, just wanted to ask you one thing, all the people. So can you please guys ping your contact details over the chat? Everyone who has attending this class, can you please their contact check email address and phone number to the chat? So that will be, yeah. Also Ali, just also phone number. Please provide the phone number also. So all the people, my request or ask is to everybody, just please share your email address as well as your phone number. Okay, thank you. So I'm moving ahead. So suppose I'm using this particular instance, and where I'm using Windows or Mac operating system. Now for example, I want to someone, for example, here I can see an AJ's name here, so I can take AJ's name. So suppose AJ is a developer. Now he has developed some code with the help of Linux operating system. Okay. Now this is the application he has developed. I am using Windows or Mac operating system. Don't forget to send your phone number. Just send your phone number also along with your email address. Okay, so he has developed the application on top of Linux operating system. Now I'm using Windows or Mac operating system. So if I want to run this particular application, which is based on Linux, on top of Windows or Mac operating system, then it will not run. Okay, the reason is as it is developed via the Linux operating system, and currently I'm using Windows or Mac operating system, it will not run. So how to resolve this kind of scenario? So again, draw the same diagram. Suppose currently I am using Windows or Mac based operating system. Windows or Mac based operating system. Now same thing I want to run here. How can I do that? That is the question. So for that I have to use one tool that is called Docker. So first of all, on top of our base operating system, maybe it is Windows or Mac, I have to install Docker. So this is my Docker. Now once I install Docker, then what is the benefit? The benefit is that once we install Docker, then our operating system are segregated in multiple operating systems such as Windows, Linux, and Mac. So once we develop the Docker or install the Docker, then our we can segregate our operating system in multiple operating system. We can segregate to Windows, Mac, as well as Linux. Now, tell me, if I want to run this particular Linux-based application, then how can I do that? So simply, I will run this application on top of the Linux operating system. That's it. I just have to do this thing. This is as simple as that. So using the Docker, we can overcome this kind of challenge. Now, if I can show you one practical example, so maybe you know, maybe you don't know, there is a web server called Nginx. Okay, I will tell all the things which I am talking today in the training session. So if I want to see the Nginx tech specs, that means technical specification of Nginx. So whoever has developed the Nginx, they have made the specification. Suppose I develop one application, I can tell you only with which port number I can access the application, which operating system you have to like install my application. So these things I am going to say. So suppose Nginx is a web server, one of the most popular web server currently in the market, and this is the text specification which is developed or designed by the Nginx development team. Now here they have mentioned like that supported distribution. So you can see Alpine, Amazon Linux, CentOS, Debian, Red Hat, Oracle, Ubuntu, FreeBSD, all of the things you can see. So all our things are coming under the Linux flavor. Now suppose I want to deploy this particular application on top of Windows. If I search with Windows, I cannot see anything. That means I cannot install Windows directly, Windows based this particular Nginx application on top of my Windows. There is no exe file, so I cannot download and I cannot start from the Windows. But no one is currently like want to develop their application like this way. Then only that will be like concentrate with specific operating system people. So I don't want to create some application which is belongs to only Mac, which is only belongs to Windows. I want to create some application such a way that my application can be used from any operating system. So that our application will be global. So this kind of scenarios can be covered using Docker tools only. So from the very beginning to the advanced level, we are going to understand what is Docker, when we should use Docker, how to use the Docker, and what is the key component of the Docker. Okay, these are the this is the all about Docker. Okay, so let's go to the next step. This is the Kubernetes. This is one of the most popular tool currently being used in the DevOps architecture. So this is something called a orchestration tool. So again, I don't know what is your knowledge, but again, I will say all the things in the training. So suppose right now we are so pod. Just understand that pod is the smallest component of Kubernetes, and in there that is nothing but the combination of container. And what is container? Container is a lightweight virtual machine. So this thing, as for today's demo, just understand this thing. Now suppose we have deployed some pod. Now we have to now after like in the weekend. So I have created one pod. I have deployed that in the Kubernetes cluster. Now suppose in the Saturday night the pod is not working. So my application is not reachable from the outside. Now I don't know because I am Saturday is my off day. I don't know what is happening. So there should be someone who should monitor this particular pod. Not only that, once the issue is there in the pod, that component should be capable enough to start the pod. Okay, so that is called orchestration. So orchestration is nothing but to observe the life cycle of the pod. Once that is not working, then orchestration tool is responsible to make it start. Okay, so that is the in a layman term I can say that is the purpose of Kubernetes. But in the Kubernetes itself, there are multiple components. There are too many things to learn. We are going to use EKS cluster to create our Kubernetes cluster, and top of that we will deploy all of our object. Okay, that everything we are going to see in the practical session for the Kubernetes. Then once it is done, then we have moved to Terraform. So Terraform is the infrastructure as a tool. So suppose I create some virtual machine from the EC2, which is the compute service provided by the AWS. Now, when I create the EC2 instance, manually I go and create the instance. That is one of the procedure. But same thing can be done via the code. So that is known as Terraform code. So using the Terraform code, I can deploy multiple cloud architecture on uh, like uh, top of AWS cloud, Azure cloud, GCP cloud. And the benefit of using Terraform is, suppose today I use AWS. Now maybe tomorrow my client wants to migrate whatever application we have developed to AWS to GCP. So if we deploy our application from the Kubernetes Terraform code, then only the cloud provider I have to change. Apart from that, Terraform is capable enough to handle multi-cloud infrastructure. So that is the benefit of using Terraform. So that is we are going to see in the practical session. Again, guys, whoever is not shared their email address and phone number, please do share your email address and phone number over the chat. Okay. Now, once the Terraform part is done, then if you are having some doubts, some questions, I am going to cover like all of this. Now, what is the topics we are going to cover? So, high level point of view, I can say these are kind of topics I am going to cover, but this is the high level. Okay, so I can commit one thing is, once you finish the class or session with me, you will be capable enough and confident enough to sit any interview, and almost 50 to 60% interview you are going to cover. Whatever knowledge I am going to give you in the training, that is the commitment from my side. And I am such a person. Already I have trained like more than 200 people, and all of the people are succeeded in their respective like goal. Maybe someone is wanted to switch, someone wanted I think up to this point you have seen all the things, right? Up to this point, these things you have understood, all the things like Terraform, Kubernetes, Docker, these things you have understood, right? Hello.
Yes, hello, I can hear you. Sorry, can I ask question?
Just before that, so up to this point, you have seen all the things and you have understood what I am speaking about, right?
Yes.
Up to that point, so that is the thing. So okay, everybody is able to understand. Yes. Give me 1 minute time. Let me finish the session. Then you can anyone can ask the question. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so these are the topics we are going to cover. So first we will start our journey with the cloud computing with AWS cloud. Then we are going to understand some operating system like Linux-based operating system understanding. Then we will understand the Git. Then CI we will understand with Jenkins. Then some build tool like Maven. We are going to understand with server deployment. How can it happen in the Tomcat server? We are going to understand that. Once that is done, then the configuration management using Ansible, we are going to understand end-to-end. Virtualization using Docker, we are going to understand end-to-end. Orchestration end-to-end. Kubernetes, using Kubernetes, we are going to understand. Now, artifactory management, how we can store our artifact using JPUG, using S3 bucket, we are going to understand that. The Terraform part, how to write the Terraform code, we are going to see that. And different AWS service using AWS cloud, we are going to see that. So these are the high level overview, but again I'm saying whatever you are seeing, more than this you are going to get from the session. Maybe many things I have not noted down here, but when you start the class you will understand that each day you are going to learn many new things which are going to help you in your journey. I hope that is clear to everybody. Now, if you are someone is having some question, ask, or like people, please provide your contact details over the chat. Yeah, you can go ahead and ask the question now.
Okay, thank you very much for this section. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly. Please ask.
So thank you for this section.
You're
Very
welcome.
interesting. Yeah, and like for me, just the way you started, you are taking it from a background as if I know nothing, which is the more interesting part of it. Well, the question I want to ask is this: are we having live projects at the end of the day that we're going to be working on after the training or the course? So that guy one will guide us as if we're already working outside. So that's the question I want to ask. Then practically, I know what we have here are just theoretically trying to explain this and what we're going to cover along on the training. So that's my question. And how practical with this app? Are everything going to be on practical? So that's the basics for us to understand it. Thank you.
Okay. So first thing first, whatever we are going to see, that will be both theoretical as well as practical. But the theory part will be less. Everything we are going to understand from the practical session. Whatever we do, we will work in our system in the cloud AWS account. That is, everything is going to be practical. That is the first thing. Second thing is, you asked me for the real-time project. So suppose today you design one code for your client, okay, and you deployed using the DevOps. So that is called real-time project. Now, if I change your source code with my source code, which is open source, that is also known as a real-time project, right? So, but we cannot share the client code, but we can take some sample code from the GitHub and deploy all the things using all the tools which we have mentioned, such as Git, Maven, Jenkins, Docker, Tomcat, Terraform, Kubernetes, Ansible. These kind of tools we are going, from this kind of tool we are going to see using one sample code. So you can think like that way. This is your like proper project. So that is one application, web-based application, which is maybe someone has developed. So the source code may be different, but after the source code is being created, whatever we are going to see practically, that is the thing which we have to do in the real time as a DevOps or DevSecOps engineer. That is one thing. Second thing is, I will teach you guys like a way, like suppose maybe you have to work like administrator part. Suppose you have to create or build some infrastructure, that you can also do. Suppose you have to work on create on a existing infrastructure, that one also you can do. So I will teach like that way. In two types of job you can give the interview and crack that interview. So that is from my side. I hope that is clear your question or clear your doubt.
Yes, that has cleared my question. And thank you for that. And I hope at the end
Okay.
of the day, I'm going home with, are we going to get some tools to go away and a certificate at the end of the day?
Okay, but actually for the certificate part, we have to study more things. I will guide you where to study, what to study. And apart from the certificate, real-time practical example, everything I'm going to cover. So that is not an issue. And whatever code you have to use, I'm going to share with you so that in the when you are creating your environment, you can create your environment and you can do that.
Okay.
I hope that is clear.
Yeah, that is clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question from anybody? I'm happy to answer all of your question if you are having some. That is my job, to make you understand of from the basic to advanced and clear your doubts and make
Yes,
you like independent so that you can start your journey as a DevOps engineer. So that is my role as a trainer. So I will do whatever I have to do
yeah,
to make you that. And all, so maybe someone can ask the question, but before that I want to answer the question. So maybe you will ask that what is the prerequisite to be a DevOps engineer? এখানে জল নেই মনে নাকি আছে? জল আছে? So maybe you will ask what is the prerequisite to start the course. I say there is no prerequisite to be a DevOps engineer. If you don't know anything, entire life you have done manual activity, I am here to help you out to be a DevOps engineer. Okay, and there is no prerequisite. But only thing I will two things I will ask from you. First thing first, you have to practice alongside with me. and come back with the question. So whatever we are going to understand today, I maybe this week, maybe you are busy with some other activity, but suppose one week we have understand two topics. Then in the weekend you have to practice and come with the questions so that I can understand what is your doubt and I can clear your doubt there and there. Maybe that is possible if you are having some time. Then if you it is if it, that is possible, then practice every day. Come up with question with the new things tomorrow. I will answer. Happy to help you and happy to guide you. That is one thing. Second thing is you should have one AWS account handy. You should have your AWS account. That is completely free for 1 year. So that is no charge is going to they will going to charge you. And whenever you create the account, they will charge. If you are in India, they will charge maybe 2 rupees, and within 24 hours they will return or credit the 2 rupees. And if you are some outside like UK or US, then maybe $2 they will charge, and within 24 hours they are going to pay you. So for 1 year we can have one free AWS account, and on top of that we can do the practice. I will tell you what to do and what not to do in the AWS account to avoid the price. So that is the thing. So these two things I will need from you to do practice or enhance your skill set for a DevOps engineer. That is my point. Now, if anyone is having some other question, you can ask.
Preetham, how long I mean, the course duration will be like?
See, Anjali, the course duration is normally for 45 hours. Okay, but that is not fixed. Actually, today, if I teach you something you could not understand that, then that is my responsibility to make you understand tomorrow again. So you can say around 45 to 50 hours would be our course duration. So every day, like Monday to Friday. So I don't know which slot you are going to join, but I am available from Monday to Friday 8 to 9. Sorry, 9 to 10 p.m. IST. Like today, I am taking the demo from the 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock p.m. evening IST, I will take the session. If I will be your trainer, then.
Okay, Preetham. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Any other queries?
Hello, sorry to add more. I hope each section will be recorded and be shared after every.
100%. 100%. Otherwise, how can you practice from yourself?
Okay.
So that will taken care by the visual path. So if you want to know more things, so whatever. So I am the trainer. You can ask me what is the tool related part. If other things you have to ask, you have to connect with the visual path, and they are the right person to guide you for the rest of the things. So I am the trainer, so I can train you. I can make you perfect in DevOps in the cloud engineer perspective. And if you have any doubt, you can directly contact with the Visualpath. They will route the doubt to me, and I will help you to resolve the doubt. That is the flow. Any other question? In the chat, they have provided one contact number. So if you want to contact further, then this is the contact number where you have to connect. And if you want to share your details, then in the chat you can share your mail ID as well as the email address. Yeah, sorry, mail address and the contact number. Yes, Venkatesh, something you wanted to ask?
Yeah, hi Pritham, this is Venkatesh.
Hi. Hi.
So my question is, suppose now we are getting trained in AWS, right? So in future, if in case like we have in cloud we have Azure and GCP also. So if we want to shift to
So
either Azure or
the full
GCP,
class will start. In,
will it be completely different? I mean, or if we learn AWS, it will cover Azure and GCP also. I mean,
No,
is
no.
that completely different to?
Yes, the most of the thing these are not like cloud concept wise that is same, but the tool service perspective these are the different tools, different cloud you can say. But the thing is, as I mentioned you, why like if you don't believe me. You just go ahead and search in the Google, in the Naukri portal, in any portal you want to search, and you check how many jobs are for AWS, how many jobs are for GCP, how many jobs are for Azure. You will find 70% jobs belong to AWS cloud. So that is the point. So, but if you know, so suppose you know AWS, now someone has called you to, we have some GCP requirement, some Azure requirement. Are you fit candidate for that? So just tell me. So you are a fit candidate if you know just one cloud very well, then you can, concept wise you are ready. Just tool wise or service wise, you have to pick some service or learn some new service, which will take maybe 1 hour. That's enough because you do have the very good cloud experience, AWS cloud experience. Now, if you can switch, you want to switch, you can definitely switch within maybe 2 or 3 days. If you learn that, then easily you can do because there will be some compute part, there will be some storage part, there will be some monitoring part, there will be some CI/CD part. So there will be some notification alarm part. So if you understand one thing, easily you can incorporate those knowledge in other cloud. That is the point I want to mention.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and one thing I have to tell you that AWS is the market leader. So you can see almost in the quarter 4 2021, it has released 299 services. No cloud provider has these much services. Okay, so that's why AWS is most popular cloud currently in the market. You can search in the Google, AWS is the most popular or other is the most popular. Definitely you are going to get AWS. And the certificate wise, AWS has multiple associate, professional and starting certificate also. So if you are doing class with me, maybe I will share some notes, some document or share some link from where you can do the like read some more things and do the certification. That can be that can be done
Another
from my side.
Yeah,
Yes.
another one question, Preetham.
Yes.
So, like we discussed, you have now discussed about Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform. So, are these tools are interlinked to one to each other? I mean, in order to learn DevOps, do we need to really know, have some kind of knowledge on all these tools, or it basically depends on the requirement? It goes. I mean, all
Yes.
these tools are
I
interlinked
understand.
between
I
among them.
understand. I
Yeah.
understood your question. So suppose I'm giving one scenario. See, you have to deploy your application. You are the architect. You have to deploy. You are running already 10 servers, and you have to deploy your application to the servers. That is the only requirement. Now, first of all, as there are some configuration, you have to upgrade. So maybe that some upgrade team are looking for that. So they are using Ansible. Some teams are working with the creating some image. Docker team will handle that image creation part, and some people or some team are responsible to deploy the application. So Kubernetes team will work there. So depend on the team size, depend how you are working, depend on the requirement. So everything is come to the picture. But there is no interlink. But the link is that if you build one image, means what is the purpose of creating the Docker image? Just to create the image, that's it, nothing, right? So after creating the image, I have to deploy the image. So in that point of view, yes, there is some interlink between Docker and Kubernetes. But if you want to understand Kubernetes, it is non-mandatory that you know everything about Docker. If you don't know Docker, again you can understand Kubernetes. That is not the point of discussion. But the thing is, better to understand the multiple tools so that you can think the combination, think the use cases. So many things you can think of from your side, and you can suggest your higher management like that way. So that is the point. So depending again, the one-liner answer is depending on the requirement and depending on the team size, you have to work on different tools.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. And again, adding one point, if you are working in a product-based organization, then end-to-end deployment you have to know. Like starting from the Git to the Kubernetes till the monitoring part, you have to know that. because in the product base very small number of people are working, so most of the people are know many things. So that's why it is better to understand all the tools in and out. And but if you are working on service based organization, there are multiple people are working, then maybe you have to work in some single tool only. So at that point, now what is your need, depending on that, what is your goal, depending on that, you will approach to learning multiple tools or learning single tools.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Okay. Any other queries? Chaitanya, Ali, any other queries from anyone? I can clear that out if you have question. Yes, Ali.
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I don't have any doubt.
Okay. Okay, hi. If you don't have any doubt, just last thing I need to do. I don't know you will start the session with me or not. I am having already like 6 certificate under me, and I am preparing for 3 more certificate in coming year or maybe in the coming quarter. So I know little bit. I can say I know like some of the component of DevOps and cloud, because like for the 9 years only thing I'm working in this, and many challenges I have faced during this time. So I also teach what kind of challenge you face in the real time and how you can overcome that. So those kind of practical session I am going to teach you. And the commitment from my side as a trainer is, if you give me 45 valuable hours from your side, you will like definitely know much more things in the DevOps point of view, and definitely you are going to crack, like at least I can say, I cannot say 100% because that depends on the day, depends on your knowledge and many things, it depends. But from the practical knowledge point of view, you can definitely crack 60 to 70% interviews with your knowledge or hands-on practical knowledge. That is my commitment for as a trainer. Now rest is up to you. You are going to start or not. If you want to start the session, then yeah, you can connect with the visual path. My name is Pritam. You can connect with me through the visual path. I hope that is clear to me. Exactly time period is. Oh, that is. Please, ma'am. Tabitha, please connect with the visual path. They are the right person to talk about. Apart from the training part, I am the trainer who can train all the things. In the chat, you can see the numbers. You can connect directly on the number and ask the question related to this registration, the fees, all the things. You can ask them directly. But if any DevOps tools, cloud, this kind of problem, you can. I'm happy to help you out. So I'm the point of contact for the technical things. Other financial and other things are taken care by the visual part.
So do we have the session on the weekends also, or it is from
Now
Monday to
this
Friday?
I Monday to Friday 9 to 10 p.m. IC is the batch timing. I don't have any other batch in the weekend session from the visual part side, but for me, I normally take the session 9 to 10 IC because I have to do my regular work also. So there, I am currently working as a DevSecOps engineer, and that is a newest concept which is coming to India. So, and I am one of the, you can say, first, you can say I am one kind of first employee of my organization, or in the India or in the globe, you can say like that, who has developed or deployed the security point of view in the DevOps architecture. So we are moving from DevOps to DevSecOps era right now. We are doing multiple POCs, multiple tools, new tools we are working with. So that is the thing. Actually, I am pretty much occupied with the real-time work also, so I only get
Sorry,
5 to 10.
Dev, DevOps to
DevSecOps,
where?
DevSecOps, DevOps,
Dev.
development, security, and operation.
Ah, okay.
So, are you talking about cloud security here, Pritam?
Everything: application security, cloud security, operation security, all the securities.
So, like if we are a DevOps engineer, security part will not be covered, right? For DevSecOps only, like
No,
we'll have
DevSecOps is a very new concept. Like only like
okay,
last 2 or 3 months. It is the concept was older, but exactly implementation has done from the last 2 3 months exactly. So now slowly and steadily we are moving to the DevOps to DevSecOps. Okay, where the
okay,
security part is coming to the picture. It will take some more time to be stable, like maybe 1 year or 2 year. It will take to completely move to DevOps to DevSecOps. The development operation part will be there, only they are adding security on top of DevOps. So if we, so first point of understanding is DevOps. Next, if we have time, if we get the time, then the security part also we have to understand. But the
okay.
point, yes,
Yeah, security in sense cloud security, right?
as I said, cloud application operation, everything, every security is called the this kind of security.
Okay.
Okay.
So here in your course, are you going to cover any coding part, basically Python or something?
That is not like okay, so that is not part of the session actually.
Okay.
Okay, the coding is not part of the session because for the coding itself, I need at least 10 more days to make you understand in the Python, maybe 10, 12 days. So that is a separate session which is not included here.
Okay. So to become a DevOps engineer, like coding knowledge is mandatory.
No, as I said, there is no prerequisite. If you know that, then it is okay. If you don't know that, also you can be a DevOps engineer, not an issue. But you
Okay.
have to know the integration very well, how to integrate multiple tools together.
Okay.
Any other doubts? So as here you can see in the chat. So as of now, the batch is not confirmed. Like total details. Whenever we start the batch, then only you can get to know the details of the timings of the batch, everything. Okay. So that is the point of thing. But normally 9 to 10 p.m. IST, I am comfortable to take the session Monday to Friday. I hope that is fine for everyone. So any other question? Otherwise, we can wrap up here. Any other question from anybody? If you don't have any question, at least ping me. How was the demo? Like how good you have understood these things which I have covered today. So just ping me. You can ping me. You can tell me whatever it is, so that maybe means you will not start the batch, but I can get some input from you guys. That is helpful for me. You can ping me in the chat also. Anything from anyone?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Bye for today. So if you start the batch, then we will again connect.
Right. Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Hope to see you in the session.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Bye.